Well, thank you. Excited to be here. It's awesome to get connected with all the different user groups around the US because of the pandemic, finding all this good stuff in these weird times. My name is Yeuda. I'm a certified trainer. I produce and perform music under the name Sidebrain. And I also founded a school about 5 years ago called Beat Lab Academy, where we do music production, mostly focused on Ableton. We're a certified training center, whole 6 months. We have shorter courses, a whole thing. You're more than welcome to check out the website, Beat Lab Academy. We have a lot of different courses. Now, today I'm gonna kind of demonstrate some ways of making visuals with sound in Ableton. Now, I don't have much time. We have about 20, 30 minutes, so please think of questions as I go through the material. You can ask on Facebook. I also want to urge everyone to stick through my presentation. After me, there is Ebo Suite Creator. I had a chance to use that. It's a whole package of Max for Live devices that are aimed for playing live video and manipulating live video in Ableton. And I must say that hopefully everyone can see my screen, I do have a dedicated folder here for all my explorations with video in Max, using Max or Jitter. And I must say that I used a lot of them. Some of them are cool, but none of them is as low latency as and responsive as Ebo Suite. I'm assuming because they have their dedicated format. I don't know if they have, but that seems to be the thing. So it's amazing. Highly excited for that. So stick around. But let's do some cool stuff that are free. You can only download. It's just fun stuff. Also kind of more exploring sound in a different way. So you do need Ableton Suite for that, obviously, just like you would need also for Ebo Suite, which using Max for Live. So you do need Ableton Suite that includes Max for Live, or you can download as an add-on. You can purchase it for Ableton Standard. Okay, so right here, everything that I'm going to show you is downloaded from maxforlive.com. Okay, that's the biggest unofficial Max for Live library. A lot of free ones, a lot of developers that sell their devices. It's a great way to also kind of extra income as well for some developers here. And everything I'm going to show you, you just take the name. I'll tell the name. You can just take it, you search it here, you download it. Everything I'm about to show you, it's free, okay? So we want to design visuals with sound. And for that, we're going to need something to visualize our sound. There's many, right? I'm sure everyone already used like the spectrum analyzer, which kind of shows us the frequency response of a sound. But we have another kind of device that came from the analog world. So it's just kind of like an emulation of that thing, and it's called an oscilloscope. An oscilloscope essentially visualizes the waveform of the sound, the volume, and in this case, it's a special oscilloscope. It's an XY oscilloscope, so it actually shows us the volume or the visual of the both left and right channels. So for example, right here, as soon as I load this oscilloscope, it opens up this screen. I can resize it, okay? And there's a few other things here we'll maybe check out in a second. I'm gonna load a synthesizer. Let's go with like operator. Let's play a sound. Can we see anything? I can't see. Oh, here. Okay, so it's very dark. Let me try to make it a bit brighter here. Let's see if we can choose another color. And okay, we can kind of see hopefully everyone can see that. Let me mute that. And we can kind of see it. Here we go. All right, so I'm just hitting one note. I muted the track. I can unmute it just so you can hear. Just a note, okay? I can play even a lower one or a higher one. Right, it does change kind of the response for the visual. Now, for some reason, I did want to show you just a simple note here. So let me try to take this down and turn it into a saw. Let's see if we can see that. No, I can't see it for some reason. That's annoying. So without any modulation to the stereo, without any changes to the left and right channel, you should just see a diagonal line. And for some reason, we don't see it. Let me try to put a utility right after this. Utility allows us to just pan. I just see that. Oh, here we go. So we can kind of see it just when it's moving. But that is a XY oscilloscope. It just shows us the left channel and the right channel on an XY graph, okay? And because of that, there are very interesting things you can do with sound to draw a bunch of stuff. So you can, of course, add a bunch of effects after a regular synthesizer, but if you want, there are a few Max for Live devices that are dedicated for oscilloscope music. I would also recommend, if anyone is interested in seeing this in kind of full force, search oscilloscope music on YouTube, and you'll see a bunch of videos that does crazy stuff. I do believe he does that all analog. So there is like analog oscillators and oscilloscopes and so on that he actually draws with it. But luckily with Ableton, we have this. Let's load something here. So all these devices will make a weird sound. We usually don't use them for the sound. We're going to mute the track. Let me unmute it just so we can hear it. So I'm going to load, let's load Butterfly. Let's load that. Nice. So this is an instrument, meaning that I can unmute the track, start playing a note on my keyboard. Let's play a lower note. Let's play even a lower note than that. Let me turn down the bloom here a tiny bit. There we go. Can we change the color? Oh. Let's zoom in. So let's scale it up. As you can see, also the volume affects it. So let me just put to show it's a steady volume. I'm going to put a velocity MIDI effect before it. And I'm going to turn on fixed. So this is the velocity right here. A bit low. There we go. Nice. So now we have all this. Let me mute that because that's horrible. But now we have all these controls that we can kind of start playing around with to change the visual. Okay. And it's all actually changing the sound, which is horrible, but right? We're not going to use the sound for that. We're just going to use it for the visual. So it's really fun because you can map everything to your MIDI controller. And I'll show you in a second. I'm just going to demonstrate a few other devices just like this. And then I'll show you how you can connect them to your music, whether it's playing like live, like connected to your live finger drumming, or just to your project if you want, okay? So I'll show you in a second. So this is Butterfly. Again, everything you can search right here. If I go under maxforlive.com, let's go Butterfly. Here we go. Here it is, download, and you're good to go. So there's a few other ones like this. Some of them are a bit more elaborate. Let's try Boing. Let's try this. So this is a whole kind of synthesizer. Stuff is happening in the chat. Oh, audio is a tad loud. Okay, thank you. Let me turn it down. I'll just turn down my master because I'm going directly into Zoom. Thank you. Okay, so here is just a more kind of elaborate device, but it still is an instrument. So let me just put one MIDI clip here with one long note, launch that. So that's just going. And let's start bringing out stuff here. Well, let's scale it up because that's a bit too close, which you can see just like a ball. And let's see what we can do with it. So I'm going to start moving it around. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, right, and we can change the shape here. We can add Lfos. Right, you can do, it's so much stuff you can do to the shapes here, and everything can react to music as well, okay? And if you're using Max for Live with all the extensive Lfos and all of that, right, you can do anything, right? Like this, we can map it to a kick or whatever, which is super cool. So that's Boing, and there's other ones. Let me show you just a few more. Let's say mushrooms. That's more for the psytrance producers. But here you can grow it. Here's the number of shrooms. Can we zoom it in? Let's take down the bloom so we can see it a bit. I can't see it on my screen. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. But let me turn it up here. Can we change the background? Okay.
That looks good.
So again, you just have a lot of controls to play with the visuals here. And you can do, you can reach some more kind of custom visuals just by playing all these combinations. So super cool stuff. Really fun. And let's see how we can connect it to some music. Okay. So let me go with actually something simple. Let's go. Mushroom was cool. What about, there's even a text one. You can write text and then it kind of makes a sound that kind of makes it. It's not the most clear, but let's write like Ableton, right? Kind of. And we have this extra button. But let's go with something a bit simpler. Let's go back to the butterfly. There are some more cooler, like advanced oscillators. I think Trop is one of them. Right, another one that you can do some really cool stuff here. They do start out kind of reset. So it's somewhere on the bottom right or on the bottom left, depends on the device. You do have some presets here. You can just click on them, and immediately it sets you up with some visuals here. Let me scale it down. Okay. Whoa, that's crazy. Nice. Now, with the actual oscilloscope kind of window, the visual window, you can also change kind of how it renders it with lines or points. So it's a tiny bit different. And some extra stuff here. We can, we can add more lines, more points. Okay, nice. So amazing devices. You can just look at this list and download whatever you want. Or if you search, for example, Butterfly on max4live.com, just go into the device page and then click on the author. And here he has all those. I didn't download everything, but this is everything, okay? He's the dude for oscilloscope music when it comes to Max4Live on max4live.com. So check him out. What's his name? Let me put this in the Zoom chat, and maybe Orville can share it with everyone on Facebook.
Yes.
But here it is. Awesome. So let's see how to connect it to music. This is not so much, it's built in Ableton. If you have Ableton Suite, you can connect almost any visual to your music in some way. So let's go. We can keep that. I just don't like the movement so much. So let's find here where there's some, where's the LFO? There's an LFO here. Wow, some cool stuff you can do. But okay, that's fine. Let's take this. Right, let's take this knob, and every time I want it like map it to my music, so maybe it can be reactive to whatever we're gonna play. So first, before I do this, let's put it here. Let me actually load the drum rack. Oh, I just made a drum rack for today, and I forgot what it's called. Great. I think I called it in parentheses Dreamcast because I'm using the Dreamcast for that, and I think it's an instrument rack. Here it is. Okay. So just a simple drum rack with kick, snare, hat, a couple of percussion, and a drum bass after that. Let's open it up. Here it is. This is actually from a new pack the DJ Newmark released called Creme de la Creme by DJ Newmark. It's on the Ableton pack store. Really great stuff if you like hip-hop, stuff like that. So I have a couple of samples here. Let me load also, because I'm using, let me enable my camera. I don't know if people can see my face right now, but I'm using this. Whoa. Wait, this. Dreamcast arcade stick. So because I'm using this type of controller, which is a shtick, it's nothing. It's a regular MIDI controller. I just like to press the arcade buttons. So I do need another Max4Live device. This is something I've built just for Dreamcast. So let me put it before the drum rack so I can play the Dreamcast. And it's probably going to be horrible latency. Oh, let me unmute this track. Nice. So create just a drum rack. Excellent. And you can use any sound for that matter. Now, let's connect this with our visualizer, with this one. So what you need for this is a built-in Max4Live device. If you have Ableton Suite, you have it as part of the core library. So you can find it here, or you can simply just search for it under the Max4Live category. It's called Envelope Follower. Okay, Envelope Follower, it's built in. Now, Envelope Follower basically listens to the audio volume, the amplitude, and it makes a shape, it makes an envelope with that. So if I play the kick, we can see it creates this envelope, this spike right here, the snare. Right, you can add some gain, you can add attack and release, kind of a rise and fall. But this shape can now be mapped to anything. Let's say I click map here, it's blinking. I can click on the volume of this track, of the first track, and now it's mapped to it. So when I hit the kick, I don't know if you can see it smoothly with the audio synced, but it jumps every time I click the kick. I hit the kick. Let me close this. Nice. Now I can hit map. While it's blinking, I can actually go to a different track, let's say this one, and click on anything I want to map it to. We said, I think, spirals. So let's map it to spirals. Nice. And maybe I want to reverse this. So I want it to start in maximum. So I'm going to go back. And here I also have the minimum and maximum values. I can invert them. So now it started there. Let's try to make it a bit clearer, can we? Speed, here we go. Speed is down. Don't move it. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, so we can start mapping it to anything we want. Now, if we want, we can also go right here and we can expand this. And now I have 7 other destinations I can map to. Let's map again. Let's go back here. What is cool? Let's move. Oh, that's cool. Right, okay, excellent. Now, I do want to recommend, this is not built in. It's something that a developer built. Dylan is a great developer. He just moved to Berlin a few months ago. And he built, it's called external envelope follower. X-in envelope follower. The only difference is that you can put it on the track itself and then set up where you want to receive the audio. So it's just a bit more comfortable to work with. I just wanted to mention this. External in envelope follower, search for it in the maxforlive.com. And instead of putting it on the track that you want to send audio from, you put it on the track that you want to modulate. So it's slightly more comfortable. Check it out, envelope follower. Envelope follower is so amazingly useful for this type of things that you want elements to react to volume. And it might even be your voice, right? Let's go back here to the drum rack. Let me delete this. I'll keep the envelope follower. Actually, whoops, I don't need to delete those because we don't want to use a MIDI track. I'm going to go to an audio track. I'm going to drag this envelope follower on an audio track. I'm going to set up in Ableton preferences my built-in, not my built-in, actually the mic I'm using for the meeting. Let's see if it can pick both. Here we go. Let me set it up as the mic. I'm going to mute the track, okay, because I don't want to use the audio, because I'm going to put the monitor on auto, and we don't want any feedback. So I'm going to mute it. I'm going to arm it, and here it goes. It comes here. Now, again, because I have the envelope follower on it, if you can see what's going on, I don't know how synchronized it is, but in my computer, and you can try it on your computer, because you have all of this if you have Ableton Suite, or you can just simply download that. It's extremely synchronized with my voice, what's happening with the visuals. And I'm sure we can find like let's go back to the butterfly just a second. So we can prove a point, because this is a bit messy, this visual. I have to play around with it a bit more to focus it, but instead, I think the butterfly is easier to do. So let's go with the butterfly. Let me delete this a second. Here we go. Okay, so butterfly right now, what's the problem? Is it too quiet and too high? Let's go low. Here we go. Here's the butterfly. Let's zoom it in by adding some velocity. I want a bit more, so let's scale it up here. Here we go. Let's find a cool knob. Oh, here. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to our voice. Let's map it. What we said, flower. Here we go. So now when I talk, I want to reverse it. Let's go back. Let's invert the minimum maximum. Right? And now every time I talk, it just basically controls that effect just by the volume, from the volume of my voice. So it's not only for music, obviously, it's any audio, which can be your microphone as well. So this is oscilloscope music. There's many more to explore, many more things for like different particle systems and a bunch of crazy stuff. Check out that dude, really awesome and really fun. The one thing I didn't figure out yet is exporting. So I did some screen capturing, you know, you can always do that like that, but it's somewhat of a hack. This specific one, that doesn't seem to be rendering to Siphon. Maybe it is, I'm not sure actually. But usually all those devices, you can render them to a free app called Siphon Recorder. And you know what? Because it does say, no, but render is just like what's going to render on this window. I don't think it's connected to Siphon. So that one thing you cannot do, at least in this case, with exporting, with rendering. There is another oscilloscope called Oscilloscope 2.0. I think it does have an option to render to export, but it did crash when I did my tests. So just for, you know, for live performances, because you can put it on a separate window, full screen, it can be super cool. And again, I don't know how synchronized it is on the Facebook live stream, but it works great if you tested it out yourself. So that's it. If anyone is a developer, even Yuren, and you can just add a siphon output here. That would be awesome. That would be great. So you can render it outside. But other than that, super fun stuff. You can do a lot with just your own synthesizers and effects as well. It doesn't have to be the ones that are built in. And just listening to those weird sounds, might also be a thing to explore. How this type of weird sounds are actually making the visuals. So that's it. Let's check. I want to check if there's any questions, because I know I don't have much time today. Actually, I won't switch to Facebook. Orville, any questions from Facebook?
Just the one comment was that Evo Suite actually has siphon out built in, which is, and I can verify that that's correct.
Yeah, that's true.
Evo Suite. Wait, so you're saying we can incorporate Evo Suite siphon out, or Evo Suite is dedicated to Evo Suite plugins?
The siphon out of Evo Suite is dedicated for Evo Suite. Yeah,
right.
The siphon out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, someone will have to open it up and just adjust just add output if we want that kind of oscilloscope music videos, or screen capture also work. Oh, nice, Marty. That's awesome.
And another question comes from Victor Verana on Facebook Live. He's like, what if you add devices in different tracks, like different visualizers on different tracks using the oscilloscope? Is that a possibility?
Not that I know, because if we take another track right now and we add another oscilloscope, A, or it will crash, or B, it will just open another window. So let's crash it. It didn't crash. Wow, nice job, computer. But you see two video windows. So also absolutely possible if your computer can handle it. My computer is reaching its limits, which is great. That's what we should do. We should break our computers. But as you know, as a way of progressing and everything. But it will open another one. So in combining different sources into one oscilloscope, that would be super awesome. I don't even know if you can, if we take the same track and layer instruments in an instrument track, that will just change the overall visual instead of giving us a few different objects to visualize. So I would say you can't really do that. I can't even click right now in Ableton.
So that's one of the magical things of Evo Suite is you can run visual generators using ISF shaders and actually mix them all together to one output.
As I mentioned in the beginning, this is just fun stuff. It's free. It's all free. But as we pass on to you and everyone will be witnessed, a quite revolutionary package of Max for Light devices for video. Absolutely. Evo Suite is incredible. Okay, I can even... oh, here we go. I can click on my computer somewhat. But that is what is happening, when you do all those videos. It is much more demanding than audio. And on top of that, the Zoom stream and everything. So expect that your computer will have a much harder time handling visuals, live visuals, than audio. But then again, my computer is not that new. Like Evo Suite runs very smooth, for example. It's just all of this. Can I close? Give me to close. It won't let me. Okay, nice.
Have you checked out any other visual generators in Max for Live that are free for other people that can check out? Aside
I can show you some free ones. There's a few commercial ones that are great. There is one, if anyone wants kind of like somewhat of an introduction to what Evo Suite is all about in a free version. Free version meaning not everything works and it's super laggy, and you might crash a lot, unlike Evo Suite, which is smooth. But there is one package called Visable. So Visable is similar, where it's a collection of plugins. I can show you once Ableton open up again. It's a collection of plugins that give you like a video output and then a bunch of effects, video generators, and you can combine them in all sorts of ways. So that is super cool to explore the potential of what live video in Ableton can do, but it definitely doesn't deliver, at least on my computer, on my machine, the smoothness that you would need in order to actually do a performance that incorporate music and live video and live visuals, or visuals that you mess around with. I do want to say that even though laggy, because it's on probably my computer, there is another one called Z-Wobot. Let me show you. Z-Wobot, which is great. It's super awesome. Where is Z-Wobot? Here we go. ZWobot, ZWobot. So it's kind of like a pioneer setup. It's kind of a DJ setup, but for VJs. It's just kind of 2 decks. You can add. There's a lot. I would say, and I love Ebo Suite, especially now when they added the shaders, effects. They did a really great job at ZWobot on the amazing effects, video effects, amazing, really fun. But it's quite heavy. But this, you put a video here, can map everything. You got a lot of cool stuff you can do, and you can add after here, you can add all these effects. Then you can select them here. Wait, I need to click on it or something. No, I need to click on this. Here we go. Here's the effect, and here's the effect. Can we load a video? Let's see. Brain. So this is just a visual pack from Beeple. Really great. I think probably the most famous VJ looping maker out there. So just some loops here. Let's try to throw a few. Let's try to throw one here. Can we? That I know. I don't think it will handle everything and the zoom. But in any case, ZWobot is highly recommended if anyone wants to explore just kind of like live VJing. It's really great. Great, my computer again is. And a few free ones on the maxforlive.com. What you can do is you can go on maxforlive.com homepage. Right here on the left, you'll see Jitter video category. Then you can click highest number of downloads, return to library. And here are the most downloaded visual devices for Max for Live. Whenever you see a download device, it's a free download. Whenever you see device details, oh, all of these are free. Here's the oscilloscope. Oh, that's the 2 one. Right? It doesn't also have siphon, and that one crashed my computer. But these are the most popular ones, and some of them might cost money. Most of them are free. And here you can find, for example, this one is extremely useful. It's an automatic reactive visualizer for your music. You can just put it on the master, and there's a few things you can play around with. So, for example, this one is very popular, and there's a few other ones which are great. But my Ableton doesn't.
We had one question from Facebook from Douglas Carmichael is, would there be any way to get NDI output from these plugins, from these devices?
It all depends. I mean, it all depends on how you can mod it. If it's not built in, you won't have it unless, I guess, you open up the device and adjust it. Or maybe there's some converters out there. Not sure. No, I don't want to move it to trash. Oh my God. Okay. So those are the most of the max. There are another one that was cool. My Ableton won't react. I'll have to close and open it again. Yes. Now I do want to just, while it's opening, I want to just say from experience, video on stage might need his own dedicated computer. It might change, in the near future with stronger computers and more efficient video playing, like all those new formats of video. You might need a dedicated computer just for audio and dedicated computer for video. And there are other softwares who kind of almost feels like Ableton. Like, for example, Resolume. Resolume is a video software. It kind of feels like Ableton. It can connect very nicely with Ableton. So in some sense, we're trying to do all of that kind of dedicated video software in Ableton Live, and obviously it's not aimed for that at the moment. So you might experience some lags, some crashes, some all of that, but that's just part of it. But I would say you can definitely reach a point, a very not too complex process, where you can kind of even make a simple music video visualizer for your music just within Ableton Live, especially when we're going to talk about Ebo Suite. Other ones that I would recommend, just to finish it off, I would say Sound Particle. It's cool. It's a free one. That's a cool one. It's just like a circle. Can we play some music into this? Where's the window? I lost the window. Here we go. And why it's not moving, but it should move according to the. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do a bunch of stuff with it. You can change some different variations there. So there are a lot of cool stuff that you can start with already for free when it comes to live video in Ableton. I do want to remind everyone that video was already possible in Ableton's arrangement view, more for kind of slicing, editing, rearranging. But now, thanks to all the Max for Live stuff, you can do a lot in the session, and that's the beauty of it. There are a few cool things from, oh my God, Isotonic Studios. There's a few okay stuff, but yeah, Ebo Suite, that's where it's at. So I think if there's no more question, Glitch GIF is cool. I don't know if you can even get it anymore. Glitch GIF. Oh, and there's an old one. There's an old one from the Ableton website called Rockvid, which is super fun. It's really fun. But
it's still
again,
it's still available. Rockvid is still available.
Rockvid is still available,
sure.
and it's really fun. It's really fun, but immediate, kind of easy. But again, we'll see Ebo Suite and its capabilities. And that's it. How long do I have? I don't know. We said like, let me know.
Yeah, that was probably pretty good. We could switch gears over. I'm not seeing any more questions on Facebook Live. But yeah, I think that was great.
Sweet. Awesome. I just want to recommend before I'm done. I did a video on this. It's my old, like it's an old. What can I visuals with sound? Oh, you know what? No, I think it is on the BitLab page. Here we go. Draw visuals with sound. So I'm just explaining exactly what I just did here. If anyone's interested in going deeper, learning more kind of step by step and doing it in your own Ableton, you can check out this video. And we have so much tutorials on our YouTube page. If anyone's interested.
Can you send a link in the chat so I can post it on Facebook?
Absolutely. I'll send it right now. And we also have our Instagram page where we post exclusive tips right here. And they're endless, right here. Endless tips. How to program certain beats, certain techniques and methods in Ableton. So check out BeatLab Academy on Instagram. And our website, beatlabacademy.com. And I also want to recommend, if anyone is interested in just Ableton racks, audio effect racks, instrument racks, and all of those, I do have a blog called sidebrain.net, and you can download a lot of free racks and stuff. Here's another free Max for Live workshop we did the other day, a couple of weeks ago. So check it out, a bunch of stuff. We have a lot of free content. And if anyone is interested in exploring more Max for Live stuff, on BeatLab Academy, the school page, we do have a blog. We have extensive free downloads there. Auto-tune for Ableton, a bunch of stuff. There's like instant sampler, really great, fun stuff. So you can check out the free download section on beatlabacademy.com. And they're all free. Really amazing, fun stuff. So check it out. And that's it. Orville, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to mute myself, but I'm going to stick around just to check.
Thanks for presenting.
Yeah, of course, guys. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.